Hello and welcome to the OverShadow ShadowCast with your host Thomas Anderson, that's me, and tech wizard Abigail Mort, that's not me.
Hello, everybody. I just like the fact that you had to clarify that you are Thomas Anderson. You have introduced this show every single week.
I am the chair.
And
as we established, I think quite
as you believe you had established, you hadn't actually established it.
I believe we did establish that the chair has spoken. That is established.
No, we established it. That's your favourite phrase.
The chair?
It's gonna get smashed.
I don't drink.
Mind blowing.
What?
Mind blowing. You don't drink.
Can't touch this. So, we'll get straight into it.
People are going to think you've been drinking after listening to this.
Not the ones that know me. Which is all of the people listening. So, no. What have you been playing?
I have been playing nothing because I was waiting for you to come good on your threat from last week that you were going to make me play and you never did. And I wanted to prove a point. You look so sad.
No, I'm not sad. I am contemplative. I think that you're trying to use that as an excuse for not doing your job this week and running from GTA 3.
I'm not running from it.
Yes,
you
are.
Literally said, I'm going to make you. And I said, okay, then prove it. And you never did.
But of course not. Because
So you lied. You lied to everybody.
No,
you lied to me.
I never
I am so hurt.
I never put a time limit on this, making you do it.
Yes, it was supposed to be by today.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Did I explicitly say that? No, I didn't.
believe you did.
No, I didn't. I think you'll find it. Go back and listen to the tape.
The tape?
You've decided.
It's digital. There is no tape.
Go back and listen to the binary. You have decided that this was supposed to be done inside of a week. Well, there was never any actual promise or deadline put on this.
You're just trying to backtrack.
I'm not trying to
You're
backtrack.
backtracking.
I'm not backtracking. I'm pointing out that now you can technically never play the game, or I will have made you.
No, I can play it now because it was supposed to happen by this week.
No, it wasn't.
By today, and
No,
you
it
never
wasn't.
did. Yeah, it was.
I'm afraid you're wrong.
Yes, it was. I said, if I haven't played it by next week,
No.
he's not come good on his word.
I don't know why you're trying to make this up, because we didn't just record it, we then posted it on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure
suddenly we're only pretty sure.
I think it was supposed to. I remember saying.
I think I remember. Did I? Was I dressed as a banana?
I was not dressed as a banana.
Egg.
Why a banana?
I think you mentioned a banana.
I never mentioned a banana.
A few minutes ago, I think you mentioned a banana.
I didn't mention a banana.
See, your memory's already gone, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this.
No, I said a banana a few seconds ago, not a minute ago.
Noel Fielding dressed as a banana.
Oh yeah.
See? So her memory's not.
I know.
Really the one
I mentioned.
I
mentioned somebody dressed as a banana, not a banana. Banana.
Banana.
A banana.
Banana was mentioned. You said the phrase a banana.
Somebody dressed as a banana.
See, when somebody says that you mentioned a banana, not that must come up that often, but they weren't talking about a very specific banana. They're not saying that you were talking about a banana. Oh, I had this banana once when I was 7 that was just amazing.
Oh, I hated bananas when I was a kid. Didn't like the texture.
The wind must whistle when it goes betwixt your ears.
That is so rude. That is so rude.
Yeah.
And it's not true. I'm shaking my head.
I know, I can hear the whistling again.
See, I'm too nice of a person to make fun of you, so...
Yeah, I think you just tried to call me out on not being able to bully you when you're the one who got all the information wrong. So it's not you don't bully me, it's that you're incapable of it.
Because I'm too nice.
No.
I'm too nice.
No, too stupid.
I'm not talking to you again.
That's fine, just talk to the microphone, I'll overhear. So now that you've come up with your excuses...
The reason, because you didn't complete your threat.
Sure, sure, yeah, sure, shut. The chair has spoken. So, let's talk about me now. Just for the benefit of the tape, she's turned around and won't speak to me now.
This is terrible. We need a camera.
I know, we need a camera. Right. Oh, right. Oh.
I'm back.
Right, all you did was twist in your seat. Right. So I've been trying out a few more games because we've set up my TV and I've been playing around. Not had a chance to start anything new, unfortunately. I keep getting sidetracked by stuff. But you remember my story from the crew from before, where I was scared, witless.
Of this person.
Yeah, so I put my account onto appear offline so that I would be left alone. And then another crew person just randomly drove into me while I was doing something and then added me as a friend and then invited me to it. I was on. Oh. Well, thankfully. Then this is what happened. Is I was in Detroit or something like that. And then I got invited and the person put down a marker. Oh no, I was in Detroit and I joined a crate chase, which is one of these things where you randomly beam in and you assist someone in delivering a crate.
Yeah.
And that's also the way you can do it. And there's so many and you get ticked off and you can repeat them, but you only get money.
Do you mean you get ticked off like, irk?
No, it gets ticked off and you've done it. Well, it doesn't actually get ticked, it gets shadowed out a little bit. But I was doing that with my good friend Randomer. And
this is the new randomer, is it?
yeah, and he invited me to a game and I thought, alright, fine, maybe this time I'll not get scared. So he then put down a waypoint like 20 miles away, so I drove there and he wasn't there because he'd beamed 50 miles away. And at that point I tried to check the minimap to see where he was and I couldn't find him. Sorry, not the minimap, the actual main menu map. Well, not the main menu, it's, I don't know, video games nowadays. I checked the big
Sounded
map.
so old. Video games nowadays.
I checked the big map, the big boy map, and I couldn't see him on it. He was still floating around in the game apparently, but he was over 50 miles away, and I'm pretty sure that there isn't anything 50 miles away from where I was. I'm pretty certain that I would have been in the Pacific Ocean if I'd driven 50 miles in that direction. So I just left the crew and I haven't returned because I understand why people want to play. I really get that. But it seems to be the ones that want to play with me either have some major problem happen to them just after they ask me to play, or they just are mass murderers or something.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Well, that guy just vanished. Yeah, I seem to be getting a massive run of bad luck when it comes to people inviting me to games on the cruise since I got my new TV. So I tried running away from that, screaming like a little girl, and that made me feel better. So I played a bit of Halo, and I tried a new game type that's out at the minute, triple team or something like that, where it's 3 teams of 3, and everybody's fighting each other, and that was quite enjoyable. I did get killed by one guy who was in 9 places at once, because I don't know if he was lagging out or if he was cheating. Probably lagging out, but it seemed a bit too helpful, where he came around the corner So I opened fire, and then he disappeared, and then came round the corner again, and then beamed further into the corner, and then back and disappeared again, and then went up and then disappeared, and then appeared coming round the corner and shot me in the face. Because I was reloading by this point, having had to shoot at him 63 times.
I lost track after about a third of what you just said there. It was like disappeared, reappeared, disappeared.
Yeah, exactly. It's just lag.
All right.
I saw him come round the corner, but he wasn't actually coming round the corner because his system was lagging out. He'll be coming round the... No, doesn't matter. Coming round the...
I know the song.
Well, yeah, but I was going to change it to...
I learned it in primary school as well. On the recorder.
On the recorder?
I'm pretty sure I remember playing it on
How
the
do you
recorder.
sing a song on a recorder?
You know, the tune.
Oh, so you learned the tune then?
I learned the tune.
Not the song.
But I knew the song.
So that classical music with no words is a song.
Huh?
No? Oh, no, I was sleeping, don't wake me up. Oh. You're quite alright.
I don't know.
Right, so I played Halo, that was lovely. But I played some more GTA with Brian. And because of my rank, we'd unlocked a few of the wee side missions that you can do.
Yes.
So, like I said before, you get heists which come from you purchasing your house or come from purchasing a club and all that sort of jazz, right?
Yeah.
There's missions attached to those. There's missions that are on the map, like the initial set of the Lamar missions, which are frankly really quite feasible to do, even with the system where you have to do it with 4 people, even though you don't know them all, blah, blah, blah. Until you get to mission 8.
Did you get fed up with what we were talking about?
I never get fed up of what I'm talking about.
I know. The greatest love is your own voice.
Yep. Well, it loves me back, so just you be quiet. Apart from mission 8, where you get attacked outside of a garage. There's loads of people outside this garage attacking you. It's like a siege sort of thing. You've got to hold down the garage and protect it.
Right.
And you get attacked from all these different sides. And me and Brian tried it dozens of times when we originally started playing, so we were quite low level. I think the highest we might have tried it at was 40. So we didn't even have assault rifles by this point. You know, we were trying to take them down with Uzis and pistols and stuff like that. But now we've got like this sort of thing where you'd have to, and also your shooting skill, that dictates how much damage you do. So we're having to put about 30 rounds of ammo into someone to kill them. But now that we're much higher leveled and we've got assault rifles, and I recently bought the combat machine gun, which has 200 rounds of ammo. So yesterday we were trying some of the other types of side missions in it, which is the missions that you access through the jobs menu. I've wanted the combat machine gun since we tried that Lamar mission, because I was thinking, oh, happens again.
You see if you take a break every single time that happens, we're going to be constantly stopping for the last 3 episodes.
Yeah,
you had to stop and go, oh, my voice broke again.
Yeah.
Oh, my voice broke again.
Well, I feel like noting it because
I think everybody now understands what's going on. I think your voice is breaking, that's what that noise is. Puberty
at this age. So I've wanted the combat MG since we did that Lamar mission and failed it, because I knew I need more firepower and I need more ammo. If it takes 30 rounds to take someone down, which it doesn't anymore for me because I'm full shooting skill, so it takes like 4 to kill someone, but this thing has 200 rounds. So I tried it yesterday with Brian during these missions where we were just mopping up some spare missions that he had, and doing a couple I had just unlocked, because these unlock due to rank.
Yes.
And it was ridiculous. Just the amount of time I could hold the trigger down for and not have to worry about reloading. I always go for the extra ammunition in GTA for my weapons. So my carbine has 100 rounds in it.
Yeah.
But this weapon is just glorious. I went and I bought all the upgrades that I can for it. I've still got 1 to unlock.
Yeah.
to increase its accuracy slightly, which is a scope, which you
Right.
can't really use properly, but apparently it increases the accuracy. We were doing one mission where he had to drive a boat, and then, you know how I told you previously in this game you can't get in and out of the seat without throwing yourself in the water?
Yeah.
So what we do is one person gets in the boat and jams themselves in it so that they can stand up with a machine gun. They
Right.
basically just stand on the boat,
Right.
and the other guy drives. You can't lock on to a vehicle with the lock-on system. You have to just target it properly and shoot. So when a helicopter attacked us, I was able to shoot the two passengers who were shooting at me out because it lets you lock onto those.
Right.
But I couldn't lock onto the helicopter, so I just opened fire on it,
Right.
and it was just bum 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 for like 30 seconds, and Brian just got to the point where he was like, right, that's enough now, right? I have to admit, right, it was pretty cool to have this weapon because it has a really slow rate of fire compared to a carbine in the game, but it does a massive amount of damage with each round, so
Yeah.
it makes up for it. But and you can also target it quite nicely. It's got quite good accuracy, and its range is very high. It's even further than the carbine, this thing's range, but it has 200 rounds of ammo in it since I bought the upgrades, so I am just and never having to stop and reload. It's incredible. Like, all my reloads are purely vocational. They're totally by choice. There's no necessity. Because by the time I've got out and killed half a dozen people with this thing out my car, I just get back in my car and it auto reloads. So there's no real. I mean, seriously, I just shooting at that helicopter with this gun and not have to worry about the reload. I have fired 400 rounds at it, so I had to reload once. So it was. I'd had to reload any other weapon dozens of times by that point, so it was really cool.
That sounds really fun.
But we did this mission where we had to. It was one of the ones Brian had left over because you know how it ticks everything off.
Yeah.
He didn't have a tick for this, and we've done all the missions we've tried so far now, all the job missions, and they're all ticked.
Yeah.
So we've, you know how it does. It ticks it if you try it, but no, it doesn't do it for succeeding, which is stupid, bad completionist system. We've completed all the ones we've tried, so we were going over some of the ones that he's missed, and it was a rank 5 mission where you just had to turn up and steal a couple of cars, and that's it. You just carjack a couple of people and take those cars to someone, and that's it. And to put this into context, he's like rank 68 and I'm rank 81. Or
Right.
82 by this point, and it's for rank 5. So there's no shooting really involved, you just have to get the guy out of the car. So he did it by shooting him through the windscreen and then just jumping in the guy's car.
Yeah.
So I did it by pulling up behind the guy, or in front of him to begin with. I tried shooting him in the face, and then I had to pull up behind him and try shooting him in the back of the head. Now, this is where it gets a bit weird. I was having some sort of problem because it tells you when you get a kill hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got that about 8 times while shooting at this car. It's a 2-seater.
Right.
How is it 8 people in the car?
It's like one of those like little clown cars.
Yeah, it was incredible. I kept getting it, you've killed him, and then the car would start to slow down and then suddenly start speeding up again. It was like I'd killed him and it was, you know, like when they die in movies and they slump and then it keeps going a bit. It was like that, and then poof, somebody else would take over, right? It was so ridiculous. Brian was able to get his car, deliver it, steal a bus and drive it 2 miles across the city to try and help me take this guy's car because he kept respawning. I had 3 cop stars by this point, so I'm trailing like 15 cop cars.
Yeah.
Because I've killed so many people that apparently aren't dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, I'm just coming, right? I'm in a really fast car, but it should help. And it just just as I'm sort of getting used to the idea that this guy in front of me is immortal, Brian pulls out from the right-hand side in a bus and rams the guy across the road, right? And then I pull in, and I ran into him at full speed and squeezed in between Brian's bus and my car, which is heavily armoured.
Yeah.
And then all the cop cars pile in behind us. Brian drove off in the bus to get away from the cops. and I had to get out, shoot half a dozen cops, get in this car and drive it and try and lose the cop stars with it.
Yeah.
So what I did to lose the cop stars was my go-to is there's a heist mission in it where you get away from the cops, and I just repeat their getaway route.
Mm-hmm.
But it involves tunnels and going underground and all this jazz.
Yeah.
So anyway, I haven't got a clue where I'm going. I'm begging Brian for help, like a wee boy. I'm like, I don't know where I am.
Brian, come to me, Brian.
I went into the train network and I know I've taken a wrong turn because I'm still on tracks. And I'm pretty certain that's a station coming up. So Brian's like, yeah, I just pulled into the side of the road in my bus, got out the driver's seat, and I'm sitting up the back of the bus, and the cops haven't noticed I'm still on the bus. And then he's looking around and he goes, that's weird. None of the passengers are trying to get off the bus, but I shot the driver in the face when I took it. Anyway.
They've all developed Stockholm Syndrome.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not getting off the bus. I'm institutionalised to this bus. So,
can I ask a quick question?
On you go.
You know, was it which GTA? Sorry, is this GTA Online, GTA 5? Did you say?
It's GTA Online, which is in the world of GTA 5.
Right. You see, when you complete a mission, do the cop stars just disappear?
No, a lot of the missions demand you lose the cop stars before they'll finish.
Interesting.
So I was trying to deliver this stolen car. It wouldn't let me deliver it till the cop stars were gone.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I've done missions in GTA 3 like that. But what I mean, like, once you've completed a mission, if you have cop stars, do they disappear?
If you're talking about the main story, it's totally narrative driven. Sometimes you'll be forced to lose the cop stars, and sometimes you won't. It depends on the story.
Because pretty much every time I complete a mission in GTA 3, they just disappear.
No, it's not like, because it's the if they're continuing the narrative that you're being chased by the cops, then no. But if you're not supposed to be being chased by the cops, then yeah, you know, you've got to get rid of them.
Interesting. Sorry to interrupt your story.
No, it's fine.
I'm learning.
So yeah, I got out off the train tracks. I had lost the cops, so had Brian. He had driven his bus down to the delivery point, right?
Yeah.
And parked it across the entrance. But I had an even funnier story. Because I'm going to put up a picture of what happened to that car that I stole. It was absolutely trashed. All the windows were gone, the doors were bashed in, and on the left-hand side, both of the wheels were caved in. I've never caved in a rear wheel before in a car. So I was stealing this car so that this guy could resell it, and I had absolutely trashed it by going through the train network and flipping it about 9 times. So Brian was laughing his head off at his bus, and I pulled up behind him and he could see me in the rear view mirror in this trashed car.
Yeah.
And the car he'd stolen was in mint condition, and he absolutely just started wailing with laughter. It's just a bit disappointing that we don't have more tech in here, because I could show you the picture. I took a screenshot and I'll be using that screenshot for the podcast, but you would giggle your eyeballs out if you saw this picture.
I've literally never heard that phrase before in my life, giggle my eyeballs out.
Mm-hmm.
How can you giggle? Your eyes naturally close when you laugh. You can't giggle your eyeballs out.
Have you heard of the Joker?
Yes.
He makes people laugh with their eyeballs open. Also, your eyes don't naturally shut when you giggle.
Mine do.
Yeah, but you've got problems.
Let's just have a real talk here.
Yeah.
Let's sit down and have a therapy session. So I have problems, have I? Do?
Yeah, that's why Mum...
Dr. Anderson.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping you'd laugh a bit more when I told you about the trashed up car, but I think it's just because you've not seen it. That's why I came up with the... That's why I came up with the phrase of giggling your eyeballs out. If I wanted fake laughing, I would have come up with the phrase ha 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 ha. You know I'll store this and it'll come back to bite you, right?
What do you mean you'll store it?
You tell a story or a joke and I'm supposed to laugh and I'll go ha ha.
Ho ho.
Ha ha.
Ho ho.
No, not ho ho.
I didn't say ho ho, I said ho ho.
Oh, great difference. Ha 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 ha, he he, ha hi, ho ho, he hoo.
I'm going to make audio clips of this. This is going to be my ringtone for you.
This is when we're a multi-million, billion, zillion dollar company.
You've got high hopes.
Worldwide sensation, which I obviously deserve to be.
You will be on Strictly.
Then this is no way. Then this is GIFs. That's what this is going to be. Ho ho! It's just little sound bites from a soundboard of me going.
Sounds like you were being manically tickled.
Wasn't I?
No, you weren't. Do you see someone else here?
Yes, me. Someone
Besides
else.
the two of us.
Me. The other me.
Oh god, there's more.
The me that people don't want in the dark alley.
That episode of The Simpsons.
Actually, I did walk into a dark alley once in Edinburgh.
Actually, I once did walk into a dark alley
Yeah.
in Edinburgh.
And 3 people came in at the other end. 2 girls, 2 guys and a girl. And they were just cutting through to... It was in Edinburgh, so there would have been a pub in one of these wee nooks and crannies, right?
Yeah, there's pubs everywhere in Edinburgh.
And they just sort of... I heard this. They looked up. They saw me, because I used to be really big. They looked and they went...
What do you mean really big?
As in really big, broad, muscly.
Right.
And I had this huge big jacket on as well. So they just... It was at night, so they just saw my silhouette from the streetlight behind me.
Yeah.
And they just looked up and went, no, and left. I heard it. I heard them go, no, and just turn around and leave.
I thought this was going to be a story about you finding a doppelganger.
Yeah, do you not noticed that? I've got a doppelganger whenever I go outside and the streetlights or the sun is on.
And when the sun is on.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed it? He's always following me around, like right underneath me.
The sun is on. We all live in a little model world. There's some big eye that just switches the sun on in the morning.
Turn the sun off. Begin preparations to pretend Australia exists.
Why bring Australia into this?
It's on the other side of the planet. If you turned the sun off, they'd notice.
Where
I
did
like
this
that.
conversation start?
I can't remember what we... Yeah, so I'm disappointed I can't show you the picture of that car, but you'll laugh when you see it.
I'm still laughing at the sun getting switched on.
I was quite good at it because last week I spoke about Dylan Thomas and about the whole idea of the world's fake and carting it away with owls and stuff, and now I'm turning the sun off. I am possibly the greatest threat to mankind. If I ever get it in my head that you can turn the sun off. I remember watching a animated Justice League movie, and this is a solar flare, and so could you imagine if they solved the problem just by turning the sun off? There's a funny bit in it where Superman's like, just, how do we stop this? And Batman's like, I have no idea. Superman's like, let's come up with some ideas. I could move the Earth out of the way of the solar flare. And then Batman says, if I had a week, I couldn't list all the ways that wouldn't work. Such a stupid idea.
I'm trying. There was some show I used to watch, and that was the whole premise. They were just going to move the world, like, not that much. They'd move the Earth so that it was further away from the sun, but now they had to contend with giant moths. I can't remember for the life of me what that was.
That's a bit weird.
I swear that was a thing.
I mean, I could understand someone
that's gonna bug
saying,
me.
let's fix global warming by doing it.
No, it was a comedy show. I can't remember what it was.
No, but I could understand that idea. I mean, it's rubbish, because you'd probably just crash the moon into the Earth. Because you'd either move the moon further away Or closer.
And like the days were now longer, or there was more days in the year or something like that.
There'll be more days in a year.
I'm gonna have to look this up. So that's gonna drive me absolutely crazy until I find out what it was. You keep talking.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's just you and me now. That wasn't supposed to sound like a threat, but I guess it was. So how have you been? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I've not been bad. Just carry on doing what I'm doing.
I'm not gonna find this.
Great.
I don't even know how to look for it.
Is that Catherine Ryan?
Yeah, it was a picture of Kath. No, because I literally before this looked up winners of Taskmaster.
Oh yes, of course. Free advertisement for Taskmaster. Watch it. That's all.
It is very funny. You know, it was nominated for a BAFTA.
Probably should have got it.
Stop trying to spit on me.
If I was trying, I'd succeed. You can watch it. I watch it on my TV, as in through my smart TV, because I've got the UK TV Play app. Right. Well, I know you can't see.
Oh! It was My Hero. It was an episode of My Hero. I'm pretty sure.
The Irish guy.
Yes, Ardal Hanlon.
Ham sandwich man. Well, I was about to say that I know you can't see, so you don't realise I was actually trying to talk to Abigail. She totally ignored me, so I'm now going to pretend I was actually just talking to you guys at home. This is like, do you know what this is reminding me of? Dear friends, of streamers who are setting up their stream by double checking everything's working while somebody else is doing something else. Like checking the visual while I'm talking to you so we can hear back on the chat whether or not the sound is good. So it's good to get that practice in for when it becomes relevant, but she's literally just playing on her phone.
I'm still trying to find. I just want to make sure it is.
Yeah, but you're trying
episode.
to find something about massive killer moths. It's not exactly pressing. Dear.
I'm pretty sure it was an episode of My Hero where that happened.
Right, good. We've given up on that. Let's get back to what we were talking about, which was not killer moths.
Not killer moths. It was just giant moths.
Oh my god, giant moths! I think a giant moth's probably going to have to kill someone at some point.
I think it was an asteroid that was going to aim for Earth, and George had to move.
Move the asteroid!
I really liked that show. It was a lot of fun until Ardal Hanlon left, and then they replaced it with somebody else.
I didn't realise that we stopped watching it when he left.
It cancelled. It was cancelled ages ago.
No, we stopped watching it when he left. I don't think I've ever seen his replacement, as it were.
Well, they had to kill him. Basically, what happened was
let's not give away any spoilers.
Spoiler warning.
No, let's just not give away any spoilers. Haha.
Can I at least say what the new guy's name was?
Yeah, that's fine.
George Monday.
Character or actor?
Character.
Oh, whatever.
I can't remember the name of the actor that was in it.
Anyway, shall we... I was going to say move on, but it's more like get back to doing what we're supposed to. Look at the news.
No.
Here, topic 1. A couple of weeks ago, we had a story about Westpac. And there's a couple of other stories similar, so I think we should give shout outs to the people who make these things happen. A player in the Netherlands called Jurian, who suffers from neurofibromatosis type 2, his father asked Rockstar if he could play Red Dead Redemption 2 a little early because he might not be able to play or be alive when it comes out. So Rockstar made appropriate arrangements to let him play the game, and he got it for an afternoon. It's only a few weeks from being released, so it must have been pretty close to finished. And his father, and I don't know if it was his father or Julian, I think it might have been Julian, said that he got the idea from Nintendo doing the same thing for a man named Chris Taylor, who was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and Nintendo allowed him to play Smash Bros. Ultimate. And as I said, these follow on from stories of Wes Pack, who's a little boy who was allowed to play Fallout 76. And for me, they're really, really nice stories to hear, because the company obviously has to go out of its way to help this player who's not going to make them any money to play a game that he might not be able to play if they wait till it's released, because games are announced quite significantly in advance of when they're released. Like Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield have been announced by Bethesda, but those games might not come out till like 2022, 2025, something ridiculous like that, depending on... We've mentioned this before with the ramp up of activity for some of Bethesda's subsidiary game development companies. So we don't know whether or not that'll be that soon or quite late for those games, but it's still going to be years down the line.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice to see...
Sorry, I've got something stuck in my throat there.
It's quite nice to see companies saying, yeah, okay, you got excited for our product, so we're not going to leave you hanging, as it were. And it's obviously quite difficult. These companies have to go quite out their way to do this, but it deserves a shout out when they do.
Indeed, yeah.
I was surprised that Nintendo did it. They're quite... I'd have imagined them to be quite secretive.
Yeah, but they've got hearts.
So I was pleasantly surprised when these things happen, because I didn't expect it. But as I said, it was a pleasant surprise. So we give them a shout out, I think, because they deserve it.
I think that it does show that companies do care about their players.
I'm not entirely convinced companies do, but people do.
No,
Companies aren't people, but some of the people at the companies have enough pull and enough strength to get these things done.
Were you correcting me on my grammar?
I was correcting you
on my language, sorry.
I was correcting you on the idea of paying a compliment to a company. Companies need slaps in faces. You were saying?
I was just saying it shows that people at these companies actually really do care about their players.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's good, because see, when they care, they're more likely to make a good game. Because let's have a look at companies which don't. EA, for example. Do you want a game of Battlefront 2?
Should we continue with the news?
Do you want to play Battlefront 2?
I do know what that is, but I've never played Battlefront anyway, so shall we just
continue? Do you want to play
with
Battlefront 1 or 2, the recent ones, which were a complete joke and a travesty and made a mockery of the original Battlefront games? I will press charges.
I can't get more than like 2 feet of you.
Our next story is regarding Obsidian, the makers of KOTOR 2 and Pillars of Eternity.
Yes, your other second love.
What?
Your other love, KOTOR. KOTOR.
Do you know what KOTOR stands for?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Interesting. You had to look at it to read that, but you were looking at the acronym. I thought that was interesting, because that's very interesting. Anyway.
What?
You were just looking at the acronym and were able to work it out, but you couldn't work it out from someone saying the acronym. KOTOR 2, Obsidian made KOTOR 2, and they made Pillars of Eternity more recently, which I've heard really good things about. They nearly shut down in 2012, and since then have struggled financially. They had enormously stupid and harmful management practices, which included financial mismanagement.
Mismanagement.
Yeah, they were trying to manage people through meshes. It was insane.
Mismanagement.
Yes, mismanagement.
Mismanagement.
I always found her ridiculously attractive. So it's financial mismanagement.
HR are going to get onto you.
If HR get on me, then they can't really complain about what I think about mismanagement. If they get on me, they're the ones who've broken some laws. So it included financial mismanagement and refusal to pay deferred wages. So what was happening was that to try and keep the company running, staff were giving back their pay. They were giving their pay back.
Yeah.
Giving their pay back. Sorry, they were giving back their pay. Mel Gibson came through the door. I got my money! Anyway, they were giving back their pay. And when they were going to the management afterwards and saying, when are we getting paid?
Yes.
The management were trying to ignore the question, and any answer they ever did give, which it was along the lines of, we never agreed to actually pay you back the money you deferred.
Mm-hmm.
So the staff essentially were getting cheated out of their money. So this, if you can remember, was it last week or the week before? Possibly the week before that, actually 3 weeks ago, where we were speaking of Telltale Games and how they went through some severe financial mismanagement that impacted negatively on the employees. It's sort of similar to that, but in this case, Obsidian, they've struggled financially, but they haven't actually gone under.
Right.
Now the news is that Obsidian is being purchased by Microsoft. You know Microsoft, the makers of Xbox?
Yes, I know Microsoft. I use Word. I use Excel.
I was talking more about the fact they make the Xbox.
I did not know that.
Well, that's embarrassing for both of us. If this pans out, hopefully this will help steady the ship at Obsidian, help steady the ship that is Obsidian, and help with Xbox exclusives and single-player games problems. They don't have enough. A source has said in regards to this, and this is a quote, it is a matter of it's a matter of when and not if. The Microsoft purchase Obsidian. So it does seem like it's definitely a thing. Other quotes have said that it's 90% of the way there as of like a few days ago. The concern here for gamers regarding this purchase is that there can be quite heavy input in developer decisions and studio killing when big companies buy little independent game developers.
I think that's going to be the same if any big company will buy any little
Well,
company.
the biggest...
Not just game developers.
Yeah, but the most obvious one in game circles is EA, because they're called studio killer.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, so they're the big example of that. However, I'd say in this case it sounds like Obsidian needs intelligence and integrity at the top. And they don't have that at the moment from the looks of it. They don't have it at the moment. And another concern is regarding... currently Obsidian are working on an open world RPG that is to be published by Private Division, which I think is related to Take-Two or something like that. So we'll see what will happen with that. Because I believe originally that was supposed to be released on all three consoles, as it were. Not Switch, sorry, but PS4, Xbox and PC, so 3 platforms, sorry. It'll also be interesting to see what happens after that, because Microsoft would logically allow PC games, but not PlayStation 4 games to be made from by Obsidian, so it'll be interesting to see. And if memory serves, KOTORs were not available for PlayStation, just Xbox and personal computer. So Obsidian do have quite a good track record of coming out with good games for the sort of Microsoft platform. Another concern is that Obsidian and Xbox have struggled to work together in the past. There was a game called Stormlands that got cancelled when they couldn't agree on the direction the game should take. But to be honest, that was a while ago, and they wouldn't be making this deal if they didn't think it could work. So Xbox have probably know what they're going to do.
Okay.
And it's necessary for both, because we don't want to lose Obsidian, we don't want to get bought by EA, and we need Xbox to have more exclusives.
No, we don't.
Thank you. There's no camera, they can't see why that's funny.
Your eyes are just so intense. They were like, no, they don't.
My eyes aren't intense. They're in my head.
Oh, that was a bad joke.
But they need single player games and they need exclusives, and it sounds as if Xbox have said themselves that they're looking to continue to make single player games now.
Right.
Because for a while there it was obvious they were abandoning the concept of single player games, but it looks like they're saying no, that's the wrong idea. There's a reason why people have bought PlayStations just to play God of War and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So you need your exclusives to sell your console. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm hoping that they've got single player games and stuff like that. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you. See, the thing about The Crew that annoys me, it's the sort of online game I'm playing at the minute is the fact there's so many random other people driving around getting in your way.
This is bringing back to the whole thing where I said you're so unsociable.
Well, the crew doesn't work properly because whenever you're actually working with another person,
Yeah.
it's buggy and laggy as hell. So maybe it's a bad example, but I just want all the other cars in the crew to go away. I am looking forward to the fact that this will save Obsidian, make them work properly. Hopefully they'll make great games and continue to make great games and exclusives and single players for the Xbox and PlayStation computer. But I suppose we now need your input, and as you know nothing of Obsidian or Xboxes, I'm not entirely sure what you can...
I can't really give an input into this.
Well, we're going to stand here, and by we I mean both of me's, until you say something. So, do 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 do. Come on, come on. What have you
Well, I
got?
hope that the studios don't get eaten up into this one massive.
Conglomerate.
Thank you.
As soon as you went, oh, I knew exactly what you were trying to say. I would have said Meta Studio.
It's good when like little companies can be able to still produce really amazing stuff. And
I'm not sure if little is the right word, but independent.
that's what I meant.
Hmm.
That's what I meant.
Hmm.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
I really have. I can't really give any input because I don't really.
Well, you can give a general input on the idea of a big company buying a small one, especially considering you know
Sometimes
the EA's track
I
record.
think. Anytime I've ever heard of a big company buying out little companies, it never goes well for the independent companies. Something always changes. Doesn't matter what it could be a lot of little small things, but normally it's one massive thing.
I think that's because, especially in the gaming world, the biggest track record of buying companies is EA, and they screw it up because they're EA. It's not because a big guy's bought a little guy, it's because the big guy who bought the little guy is just an absolute moron.
Yeah.
I think gaming is different because it's an art form. Partially, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like movies and TV. You know, you need a dedicated audience for gaming because nobody's going to stick around for a 60-hour video game if it's not good. But nobody's going to give you 50 quid, 60 quid, 70 quid for a 4-hour game. So you have to you've got to earn the respect. It's not like like a TV show or a movie where you don't really have to be honest. You can make absolute dross and it'll probably sell somewhere. You don't have
I don't necessarily believe that.
You don't have daytime video games. You know, getting away with making half the absolute... You know, all those ridiculous
But
makeover programs.
loads of shows get cancelled after like a few episodes because people just don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
They will cancel it after a few episodes. So
Yes, but you also get a massive amount of dross. So I put it like this way. The gaming industry wouldn't work if it worked like Nintendo Wii did. The Wii is famous for having absolute mountains of nonsense come out for it.
yeah, a lot of weird stuff did
Yeah.
come out from the Nintendo Wii.
It just wouldn't work. I don't think it would work. You need... when it comes to selling a proper full video game, you need to earn the respect of dedicated fan bases. It's not quite this. You don't... Very few companies would survive if you were basing it entirely on... You know, that sort of thing where you could just say, actually, I'm bored, let's go to the cinema. Nobody says, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do for the next 2 hours, I'll pay 60 quid on a video game.
No.
That's rarer.
Yeah.
You're right, it's something to worry about for sure. When the big guy buys the little guy.
Yeah.
But I think we can fingers crossed that it won't be as bad as EA. Because Microsoft want this to work. EA just wanted to make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all companies want to make money, but EA's money grabbing is just ridiculous compared to others, you know. There's still a respect for the art form, I think, in other places. And also, you've got to remember, Microsoft still have making up to do for what happened with the Xbox One release. I don't know if you noticed it at
No.
the time. It was things like you had to be online all the time to play the Xbox.
I didn't know that.
So somebody once, they contacted the guy in charge of that decision and said, look, what if I live in a place with poor internet or don't have internet access? And the response by the guy was, move. I mean...
Then I would be no point in me getting an Xbox One because I've got terrible internet.
They went back on that decision because the response from people was so bad.
Right.
There was also DRM codes. I never get that right, mostly because of the DMR in Halo, but I think it's DRM.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a code that allows you to play a game,
Yeah.
but nobody else can use that game.
Right.
So if somebody else has to borrow your game or wants to borrow your game, it's ridiculous things like you've got to share this code and you're only allowed to do it for a few hours, and if you do it more than a few times a year, they have to buy the game.
Right.
So PlayStation went up on stage and said, this is how we share games at PlayStation, right? Mm-hmm. And they had two guys, and one guy just passed the other guy a copy of the game, and that was it. And they absolutely destroyed Xbox on this stuff. They annihilated Xbox. Xbox proverbially went home crying to its mammy. It got absolutely destroyed. Originally, me and my brother weren't even going to get Xboxes, and we're big Xbox fans. We just weren't going to do it because we called it the X-Bone, because it was an absolute, to be as polite as possible, bone up, although that wasn't the phrase we used. Because at that time, you know, we were struggling with the internet connection as well. I remember I told you about this.
Yeah, you've told me about it, yeah.
And we would just not have been able to do anything.
No.
Because we had like structural problems with the internet, and the companies involved wouldn't fix it, which they were supposed to, but they wouldn't. It's just a joke, and we got caught in the middle of it. So, you know. But it was quite interesting to see when I was talking to my friends. The richer ones were like, "Oh, that's not a problem." The poorer ones, that doesn't work. You could see the socio-economic difference.
Yes.
It was quite fascinating at the time, but I think that, you know, and the fact that Xbox tried to pull away from single player games and is being pulled back, and they've admitted they got it wrong, that says to me they want this to work and they'll do it properly.
Yeah.
But, you know. How about I be hopeful and you keep your eyes open?
Okay. And we'll now move on to the next story.
So we've all heard an awful lot about Red Dead Redemption 2.
I have.
Yes.
Many times.
I've actually, to be honest with you, we're not talking about it because everybody else is talking about it, and we just can't cover it properly, and we wouldn't be able to cover anything else.
Okay. Yes, continue. Why are you staring at me?
Because, sorry, we're in this together, so it's a joint decision. That sounded more like I was telling you we're not covering it.
I didn't take that from that.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough, cool. Right. Sorry, I just didn't want to be doing that. That's why I think we shouldn't cover it, and you probably agree.
Because I don't see the point in, one, I don't really know what it's going to be, and two, there's no point in just rehashing what other people say.
Well, I was looking at it the other day, between Fallout 76, on the news feeds that I use, Fallout 76 and gameplay stuff where people are just playing games, and Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like 92% of it or something ridiculous like that is stuff I can't use because it's this. So I pick out the smaller stories and we have a good debate about it, as in I talk all the time and you just randomly say blah blah. But it now appears that the title that Rockstar will be working on after Red Dead Redemption 2
will be Bully 2. I don't know if you wanted me to say
No, I was trying to time it so that we'd say it at the same time. Bully 2.
I've seen gameplay of Bully.
I've played Bully. I think I'm the only one of my friends who has.
That's the one where you're like a kid at a private school, isn't it?
Aye, in America Land.
Otherwise known as America.
Otherwise known as United States of America.
Also known as the USA.
Also known as That was my hands. My hands made that noise.
Sure it was your hands.
Look. See?
Stop it.
It's my hands being squeezed together.
Sure it is.
Look. You've got eyes. You can see this. Defend my honour.
No.
Oh.
What honour?
Get it. They've already started developing it and have been working on it for a while now, which is good news. There was an original project that started back in 2011, but we don't know if any of that's still being used. We know there's an original project because people have mentioned it, but also because there's artwork and there's settings being discussed, and I think there was some music being discussed at the time, but we do know of like concept art, but we don't know how much of that's still being used, if this is a restart or if this is a new project or whatever. Currently there is some evidence that they have made casting calls. Now that's quite interesting because casting calls are normally made towards the end of development for a game, because if you start rewrite processes you don't want to have to pay to bring all these people back in.
Right. You're going to go audition.
Well no, it's down in Pinewood, so they clearly want people who speak like this. I've never tried an accent before. That'd be interesting to see if that was actually what I thought it was when I listen back to this. So it may be announced quite soon if they're at the casting call stage. No ideas currently as to the content of the game. There are some rumours that it's at university level now, but we're not going to join in rumour spreading. So we're going to start some of our own rumours. What do you think? Because you said you've seen gameplay footage, so what do you think of the original?
I've only seen a little bit of it. I've not seen a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit in it where you break into an asylum.
In the original?
Yeah.
I've not seen that, but I can't remember who it was I watched, but I watched maybe like 2 episodes of it. I can't really remember what was going on.
Well, don't watch anymore because we're going to play it at some point. Because it's backwards compatible.
So that means it can be played on older consoles? Is that what that means?
On an Xbox One.
So it can be played on older consoles?
No, it can be played on younger consoles. I know what you meant to say, but you're technically the wrong way around.
You're the wrong way around.
Does that mean I should be talking out my bum? Hold on. So yeah, tell me what you think, because I absolutely adore Bully.
I know a lot of people. It's one of those games when you're not actually in the gaming community like I am. I'm not in that community. It's not one of the games I hear of. Mm-hmm. I just happened upon it because I watch gamers.
Yeah.
But I know that it's quite a cult hit, isn't it?
It's a cult hit, yeah, for sure.
So I'm, as somebody who loves like culty things, not culty, not part
Someone
of the cult.
who loves the occult.
No, but like I like cult
Sacrificing
movies.
Sheep, yeah.
Cult movies, television shows, and things like that. So that's my thought. So.
No, but you didn't tell me what you thought about what you saw in the previous game and whether or not you were interested.
I honestly can't remember that much because it was a while ago that I watched. I just remember there was a guy, like a kid, who looked slightly rougher than the rest of them, just going around beating up people. Right,
well that's the whole concept of the game is that
you're a bully.
No, you're not. That's the exact opposite.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I didn't watch that much, so.
The whole premise of the game is that you are not a bully. You're the only one who isn't a bully. But you're strong enough to be a bully.
I honestly can't remember that much then.
He's not a nice person per se as a kid. He strikes you as being a bully.
Yeah.
But then when you actually see his actions, you see that he's not.
You see what's beneath.
No, it's not
the
that.
Diamond in the rough.
It's not. No, it's not that. It's that he refuses to actually bully people.
Right.
He beats up people who need beaten up.
Right.
But he doesn't bully. It's like saying Batman's a bully. It's about... Because the Americans tried to ban this game, right? And so a Senate committee had to play it.
Yeah.
And they found out that it wasn't... They said themselves that it was not a game about... it was not a game in which you are a bully. It was a game promoting standing up to bullies.
Right.
But the reason the Americans wanted it banned was because they saw the title. We've discussed this before.
Yeah, I can understand that because obviously there's been controversy this year with things we only see a clip of it or just a little bit of it, and all hell breaks loose on social media.
No, but we're talking back in an age where they tried to ban Mass Effect because there were sex scenes in it in which you see no genitalia.
Right.
Like, the people aren't even naked in the sex scenes, they're wearing clothes rolling over the top of each other.
I've never played Mass Effect. I've never seen.
We're going to play that as well. But would you be interested in playing Bully 1?
Yeah.
Would you be interested in playing Bully 2?
Yeah. I guess. If I like Bully, I'll be interested in playing Bully too.
It'll be interesting for me to see where they take it.
Yeah.
Because if they don't set it in a school, it'll be interesting to see how they make it work.
Yeah.
It might be that they put it at uni level so you can now drive. But I'll miss the skateboard and the bicycle because that was how you used to get around the town. And I don't know if a lot of the jobs that they had in it, like you could cut people's grass for money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that'll make too much sense. The thing about Bully, why I think people liked it, wasn't just great game mechanics, fantastic story which it had, and really in-depth characters.
Mm-hmm.
It was the fact that it was as well, it had charm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take it out of its setting, it might lose its charm. So they have to get the setting right.
Maybe he's the teacher now.
Good Lord, that's an idea I never thought of. Don't think so, but it's an idea I never thought of.
So, is that all for the news today? Have I left you on a mind-blowing idea?
Yes. So, with my mind fleshly blown... Wait, I'll rephrase that so I can actually say it properly. Fleshly blown. Fleshly blown. With my mind freshly blown, as you've just seen from my inability to construct Sentai,
Yes.
we will now call that a day.
Yes, so...
A day!
So thank you so much for listening to us today and
Yes,
for putting
you.
up with Tommy and myself.
Yes, thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe below the video. You leave any comments, questions, that would be fantastic. You can also follow us on Facebook at OverShadow at OverShadow.ShadowCast, and you can contact us through email at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and all the links will be left in the description down below. All the information, sorry, not links.
Links is well.
Is it links?
There's a link to the Facebook page, I think. Yeah. But yeah. So
So thank you so much for listening today.
And we'll look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yes. So goodbye.
Bye.